can walk into any of our public schools in North Carolina and you will see tremendous things happening between students and teachers and other school personnel every single day. Not only on an academic level, but teachers and school employees are faced with every societal challenge you can think of when students walk through the doors. Poverty, hunger, divorce, race, broken families, abuse, crime, and the list goes on and on. And every day, the heroes in our classrooms are helping our students reach their dreams, but they are doing it with less and less each year. There's been a lot written over the last several months about whether there is a war on public schools in North Carolina. In this case, you should go straight to the front lines for the answer. Find out for yourself. Google it. Visit schools. Public schools and public school teachers have been under assault by some of the most powerful leaders in the General Assembly in favor for privatization and for-profit organizations. It's unfathomable to think anything differently. There is no disagreement that public education in our state faces many challenges, and mistakes have been made on many fronts. However, the barrage on the public education and the teaching profession since 2010 has been stark and noticed across the nation. The dismantling of public schools has been strategic, and the systematic disrespect for educators, especially our most experienced teachers, is evident. Children are our biggest casualty in our public schools. The unfortunate reality is that the biggest casualty, again, is the dismantling of public education for our students. North Carolina is 46 in the nation in per pupil expenditures. I think we can all agree that we want more for students than 46 percentile. We are better than this. Since 2008, that's when our recession began, if you back out the money allotted for compensation and the increasing cost of benefits for public education, the funding available for actual classroom activities has been reduced by $1 billion. That's funding for textbooks, transportation, teacher assistants, teachers. Since 2008, the textbook fund has been cut by nearly 80%, until this year when NCAE fought tooth and nail to get the current fund doubled. This was a step forward, but in reality, our textbook fund is still around 50% down compared to 2008. Since 2008, we've had 7,000 fewer, I believe Leanne mentioned this and brought this to your attention. We've had 7,000 fewer teacher assistants in the classroom. Again, some powerful leaders in the Senate wanted to cut another 8,500 TAs this year. We were fortunate to be able to save those positions thanks to educators, parents, and communities speaking up. But we know that they could be a target again next year. Just a couple of weeks ago, our Senate Pro Tem, and Leanne has already brought this to your attention, said he equated teachers to manual teacher assistants to manual typewriters. Teacher assistants lead reading circles, provide one-on-one learning opportunities for students, drive school buses, help our children with health challenges, and they may give the only hug a kid may get during the day. When was the last time you have seen a manual typewriter do that? Some in the General Assembly want to spend more on private school vouchers than on textbooks for 1.5 million students. I would say their priorities are backwards. Lawmakers increased private school vouchers by 129% this year, continuing to drain money from public schools. For some schools, we have heard it's even a battle to keep toilet paper and paper towels in the building, even the most basic needs. NCEE ranks 49th in the nation in teacher pay. In 2008, we ranked, I believe that Leanne said 21st. I think she said that. Currently, NCEE is close to $10,000 behind the national average, and that's quite a hill to climb. But you can't do it by only offering 29,000 teachers a raise. That's how many teachers got a raise this year. While 65,000 and tens of thousands of other school employees get a one-time $750 bonus that's going to be taxed. One-time $750 bonus. Last week, our governor equated it to chicken feed, yet he signed the budget. The General Assembly no longer provides additional pay for teachers with a master's degree. They passed legislation to take career status and due process away for educators. That case is currently in the Supreme Court for experienced educators. New teachers cannot obtain career status anymore. Teachers are now the only state employees who receive longevity pay in regular paychecks instead of paid in a separate check like other state employees. It's no wonder the teacher attrition rate has hit a high point. The resignations to teach in another state have increased 40% over the last year. The number of teachers leaving for personal reasons has increased 13% since last year. Other states are recruiting our teachers. Remember Houston, Texas? What other state was it that began recruiting our teachers? And they were leaving. They could leave us and go to Houston and get a $10,000 raise. The attrition rate, coupled with the fact that enrollment at our universities for education programs are significantly down, leads to an impending teacher shortage crisis. This year, NCAE was able to defeat or delay even more damage to public schools. There were proposals to eliminate retiree health coverage for new hires, eliminate the defined benefit retirement plan for school employees. Leanne has already shared all of this with you. I tell you, she was a tough cookie to follow. Eliminate the employer contribution for the state health plan. A taxpayer bill of rights that would use an arbitrary formula to cap spending would eliminate any change of significant investments in public schools for our educators. And a takeover of low-performing schools by for-profit charter management organizations. We were able to defeat or delay these proposals, but they could come up next year or the subsequent year. This year, instead of using a $450 million surplus to invest in critical education needs, some in the General Assembly chose corporate tax cuts for our wealthiest citizens and for corporations. By investing in textbooks, technology, teachers, teacher assistants, and other school personnel, not only will our economic future be more secure by providing students the best public education possible, but it will have an immediate impact on many of our state's communities. The largest employers in nearly 2/3 of North Carolina's counties are the public school system. So drive a few miles down the road to your neighboring counties. Washington County, Terrell County, Hyde County. These public schools are the largest employer in those counties, and yet we've cut the public schools, and we continue to cut the public schools. North Carolina was once the shining beacon in the South for public education, and we can be again, but not in the current direction we are heading. Our families and communities are counting on our elected leaders at all levels to do the right thing for the long-term success of our students and state by making critical investments in our public schools. So when you hear the bell ringing, we urge you to stand up for our students, public schools, and our state. I hope that you will support pro-public education candidates for House and Senate. I hope that you will support those candidates, be there to vote for them, and we don't care what party they're from, as long as they are willing to restore what's right, what public education has lost. I do appreciate, I am a native of Elizabeth City and live there still.